Hey guys, it is Friday, the best day, and it is June 2nd, and this is our 20th weekly vlog in our 2017 series. As I mentioned last week, we did not vlog the whole work week when nothing was going on, and literally this week nothing went on. You didn't miss a thing. It was work and it was resting after work and doing chores. That was the whole week. Yesterday my car window, the mechanism that lifts it and lowers it broke. So it's stuck kind of half down, and it's like 90 degrees right now. Thankfully it wasn't raining. That would have been worse, or if we'd been out of town that would have been worse. It's a very, very old car, so these kind of things happen, but it's actually the second window to do that. So it seems to have, it's a different window, but it seems to have a weakness, if you will. But otherwise it's been a pretty reliable car, so I guess I can't complain. But it was a whopping $387. Luckily I got a discount and it ended up being like $335, but it's still very expensive. But you can't have a window half up, so that had to be fixed. Let's see, anything else? Not really. Today ran to the tailor, picked up some food, picked up some Mediterranean, sort of like Lebanese / Mediterranean food. That's about it. We do have an interesting cooking thing, or at least I think it's interesting. If you watched our Busch Gardens food festival video, which I will link to over here, Brian got the spicy potato curry that he really enjoyed. We found a recipe for it, and he is going to try making that tomorrow. If you're wondering why I'm not eating it, it's not got gluten in it. That's not the issue. I don't do well with really, really hot and spicy food, and it's hot and spicy. So he's gonna make that tomorrow, so we'll definitely film that. My guess would be that we're going to end up playing some type of board game this weekend. We'll see. And tonight, I think we're about to go watch the Amazing Race finale. And don't worry, I won't do any spoilers, but I'm looking forward to watching that. If you watch Amazing Race, leave a comment below. No spoilers, please, in case we have other people that haven't seen the finale. But we're a little behind, so looking forward to seeing that. Good morning, it's Saturday, June 3rd, and we actually slept till the sun was up. Of course, that's easier to do now because it gets bright, earlier, but we slept till like 6, I think, which is late for us. So, but we stayed up a little later than usual, I think. Brian is making that recipe I mentioned yesterday. We think it's going to be similar to what he had at, yeah, he hopes at, the food festival last weekend at Busch Gardens. And so he's peeling potatoes, and the boiling pot over there I just showed you was the chickpeas, which go in it. And then there's a whole bunch of other ingredients, so we're gonna film him cooking today.
The cooking continues. I got the chickpeas done. They're hanging out ready to get into the pot when I combine everything. So I started the taters. I cut up a bunch of onion. This is not all going in there. I'm going to save some for my tuna salad later today. And I got to mince up some garlic and some ginger. And I'll saute this. Then once the potatoes are done, I did the sauteing. Everything's going to go in a pot along with some coconut milk and tomatoes and all the spices.
All the spices? Yeah, lots of spices.
The goodness. Alright, another update. I got the spices already blended, so they're already measured out right there in a little bowl. So I got red cayenne pepper, cumin, and curry powder, and then there's the coconut milk and the tomatoes that'll eventually go in. Got some ginger diced up that'll go in at the end as well. It looks like the taters are coming to a simmer, almost getting there. Alright, now it's all in the pot. Just gotta bring it to a simmer, and then it's done.
Alright, so I think he is finished.
Let's do a little taste testing here. See if I can get...
Burn yourself?
That's kind of probably pretty hot. Let's see.
Good stuff?
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Does it taste like what you thought it would? Kind of like that curry you had?
I could have used a little more heat, I think.
We could still add that right here at the end.
But I don't want to mess it up because it's really good right now. That's good.
Well, and you know how sometimes the heat builds over time. Yeah. Awesome. Looks good. Smells really good. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Yeah. And this is what the recipe yielded. So I got 6 of the small, I think these are 2-cup containers, and then I'll eat off this. It's not full, but I'll eat off that throughout the weekend. And I did add a little more cayenne pepper. And the aftermath of cooking is right here, all these pots and pans. I can't believe it took that much to make this, but I think it was well worth the effort.
Hello, I am finally ready, and I actually went and ran an errand. I did 3 loads of laundry, and Brian did a ton of yard beautification. Not mowing, he does that all the time, but it was just time to do mass amounts of weeding, trimming. I have like 7 huge rose bushes in the front yard. Beat those all back. They like to be trimmed heavily. They actually bloom better the more you trim them. And then trim large bushes in front of our house. He's been really busy. I went out and helped him. I did some stuff, sprayed some weeds and some lighter work. That's why I've got a sheen right now. It's really hot already. I think it's going to be 90 today, and it's now here it feels good. I'm on our screen porch, but in this direct sunlight it's actually pretty warm. So it's been a busy morning for both of us actually, but he's definitely been busy. One thing I wanted to show, I know I mentioned this in the winter if you've been with us the whole time. So this is full sun, like in our front yard it's super bright and sunny, and this just shows you how little sun we get once the leaves get on the trees. Like our deck over there is totally in the shade except for the little spots on the top of the grill, and even the screen porch, if it didn't have a roof, would be in the shade. It's almost totally shaded. Is that great? In some ways, yes, it's cooler and keeps our utility bill down, but the downside is the house is kind of dark because all our windows mostly are on the back of the house. We only have a couple on the front. Also, forgot last night to say my opinion about Amazing Race, and so that this doesn't give anything away, the team I was rooting for did not win. Well, the team I was originally rooting for didn't even make it to the final 3. I was rooting for, well, I won't say that either in case you're way behind, but anyway, my team did not even make it till the top 3, and of the top 3, the team I was rooting for did not win. I didn't like strongly dislike any of the teams, but I was really rooting for one particular team, and if you've already seen it, you'll know who they are because they came in second, but I won't say who they are just so it doesn't ruin it for people who may not have seen it. But anyway, I don't know if you guys watch Amazing Race or if we're the only people that do, but we enjoy the travel aspect of it as well as the fact that it's a race, so we enjoy it. So now that he's freshly showered and from all the yard work,
let's get back to work in the kitchen.
He's doing more cooking. He's making some tuna salad.
I'm gonna add some Bubby's horseradish to it to give it a little kick. I never had it like that. Sounds good. To me anyway.
Yeah, probably would be good.
And you're making...
I am doing, you guys have seen this 100 times, so I'm not gonna film it. I'm doing the batch cooking. I'm gonna do 2 big bags of organic broccoli and then a bag of organic butternut squash. Just to freeze, not to eat right now. So we're out here on our screen porch to enjoy lunch. I guess that's a big plus of the shade. It feels good back here even though it's hot today. And Brian grilled a tuna steak on our grill over there. And he's eating some of his newly made potato and chickpea curry. Looks good. Well, that's a tiny plate. In case you're wondering, that's like a salad plate that he's using, not a normal size. And then I am having leftover Mediterranean food from the deli I went to yesterday, and some blueberries. Yum. We're gonna play One Deck Dungeon. You've seen us play this a few times. It's super fun. I can't recommend this game enough. The designer's brilliant. We were just talking about that because it's such a small, compact game. It's literally a one-deck dungeon. It's a tiny box you can take on trips, which is awesome. But it's complex, and I don't mean difficult when I say that, but just the amount of thought that had to go into make such an entertaining game. Yeah, and so this is my character.
Link.
Yeah, I named her Link. So you get this little piece of paper that you keep track of your stats because you actually grow your character game to game, which is also neat. It's kind of like a role-playing game in that aspect if you've ever played a role-playing game. So I have an archer. I named her Link because I'm so original. And, and those of you who don't know, that's a character from a video. Well, it's actually the name of the video game, right? No, Zelda's the name of the video game. Link's the character. Anyway. You get these skills that you get to choose at the beginning, and then
This is Xena, the warrior princess.
Oh, you named her Xena?
Yeah, Xena, the warrior princess.
That's funny. And then you roll these various colored die to do things. So we're gonna get started. So what Brian's doing now, flipping the card over, is spinning what they call time. And so you burn through your deck, which makes it harder. So the faster you spend time, the quicker you move to the next level.
Yeah.
Because each deck represents a level in the dungeon. So it gets harder and harder. But you have to spend time to get these doors out, which you open the door and you don't know what's behind it.
Which we already spent. Let's see. Uh-oh, it's a cave-in.
Uh-oh. So some are like obstacle type things, some are monsters, it just depends. It's random, and you can skip it and spend more time to go to the next one, but it's better to fight it if you can.
Yeah.
We are down to the boss fight, so as you can see, we've both acquired a lot of skills on our characters.
Items. This is the boss, the dragon.
And he has a lot of points that we have to get, so
this is the closest we've been, though.
It is close, but he's really whomping on us.
Yeah.
We gave it our best shot, but the boss fight is ridiculously hard compared to the rest of the game, and we lost very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So now we actually...
This is the furthest we've ever been, though.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah. And now we get to add skills, so it's not like the game's pointless when you lose. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this, but it's a cooperative game, so we're working together. So even though we lost, we still get to add skills for the next game, so we'll have better powers, you know, for the next fight. Hey guys, it is Sunday, and I'm sorry I haven't vlogged today, but I got a really horrific migraine yesterday, and today I have had if you've had a migraine, you'll know what I'm talking about, a migraine hangover where I just don't feel good. So, been a very low-key day, but we tried to go out on our screen porch to eat our lunch, and it was too hot. We came back in. I looked it up. It's 96 today, feels like 100, and boy does it. It's really humid today, very hot. Hey guys, it's Wednesday, June 7th. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to be recording as much during the work week most likely, but I did have something to talk about. I finally got to see Beauty and the Beast, the live action version. This is going to be a fairly spoiler-free review. I'm going to tell you one thing I didn't like about it, but I mostly liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a little more emotional than the original, especially without giving any spoilers towards the end. I think they did a better job with that. Overall, though, I still like the animated better. I just do. I can't exactly say why. There's something about the animation that's just timeless, whereas I think several years from now, the CGI and stuff in this is going to probably look odd, which if you want to skip something that I don't think it's a spoiler, it doesn't give the plot away, and most people know the plot by now, but if you want to skip it, skip the next few seconds. The only thing I didn't like about it was the Beast's facial animation just didn't look quite right to me, and they kept him in the dark a lot, so I think they knew it didn't quite look right. That was really my only complaint, and that wasn't enough to be distracting or take away from the movie. I still really enjoyed it. So I would say overall positive. If you're one of the few Disney fans that haven't seen it yet, I definitely would recommend it. We had hoped to go to the theater to see it, or I had. Brian's not big on musicals. He will tolerate musicals if they're animated, but if they're live action, he has less tolerance for them. But I had fully planned to go with either a friend or someone to see it, and just never to get time. It came out during a really busy time for us, and we stayed busy, so that's why I never ended up seeing it in the theater. I don't regret not seeing it in the theater, though. I think everything was fine. We have a pretty large TV here with surround sound, and I kind of like watching movies in the comfort of my own home, so I don't really regret waiting. I don't have to see things when they first come out. I know some people do. The only exception to that's usually Star Wars. I'll usually go, and back when Lord of the Rings trilogy was coming out in the theater, that was one I had to rush out to see. But for the most part, I can wait for DVD unless I think there's going to be something on the screen. Well, since there's been so much talk about Avatar, that's another one that I went to the theater to see because that was the first 3D one. Of its kind, I should say. And also, we didn't have a 3D TV at the time, so that was the only way to see it back when it first came out for us. We now have a 3D TV, but we didn't back then. So anyway, that was my take on Beauty and the Beast. Have you seen it? And if you have, did you like it? Which do you like better, the animated or the new live action version? I'm curious. I did hear a lot of people complain about auto-tuning on the main character. I'm sure they did, but it didn't bother me. I don't know. I guess so much music now is auto-tuned. That did not faze me at all. It didn't take away from the movie for me personally. Maybe I'm just not that picky about it. I don't know. I thought it was fine. I think I'd rather someone be auto-tuned than be off-pitch personally, because off-pitch does bother me. So anyway, I thought it was great overall. We are going to the beach this weekend, and obviously by the time you see this, the weekend will already be past, but just a reminder, or if you didn't see it, I will put a link up there. I had an announcement this Monday of this current week, gets confusing, saying that I'm gonna go start recording from Friday through Thursday. So the reason I'm mentioning we're going to the beach this weekend, it won't be in this video, it will be in next week's video. However, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video tonight instead of Thursday night because I need to pack tomorrow and also need to run an errand after work, so I don't think I'm going to have any time to say hi tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this week's weekly vlog. As always, we appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Bye. Thanks for watching.